I haven't spent a lot of time talking to him. I try to stay away from goaltenders. I think they'll screw you up as a coach at times. No, it doesn't surprise me. I think playing that position, you got to have some confidence. He came in a tough situation last game, did a great job. He's an older player too, so he's been around the block. So I think he knows what to expect. So it doesn't surprise me.
What about your situation in general? You got two young guys back there, and I imagine that won't change anything about what you guys do, but it's certainly something to be at least taken note of, I would guess.
We got two goalies in the net. We're comfortable with both of them, and we're going to have to go out and play these guys hard and not change anything with our systematic play. There's certain things that we're going to have to point out and what St. Louis does really well. But for us as a group, we gotta tighten down the hatches and get ready to defend a tough team.
Speaking of that, what they do well, I mean, they've got a great first line. Talk just a little bit about those guys who you will no doubt have to deal with tonight.
It's not just the first line. The first line is at production, so there is something to be said. But it's the way that the whole team plays. They're big, they're fast, they battle, they compete. The first line does it just as hard as any other line, and they're having success. You can see to me it's a simple. They go to the net hard and they put pucks at the net, and then they're just going to outcompete you. And I think they wait for you to quit or they wait for you to give up because it's a hard game. And we got to be ready to play the hard game and be ready to play it for 60 minutes, if not longer.
And they do limit opportunities to the opposition. That's just their game.
They go as hard forward as they do coming back, and that's what makes it difficult to create chances on them. Big group of defenders on the back end, good puck moving defenders. But again, the whole team is committed to play the same way.
Todd, do you feel like this club has established itself in this building a little bit? I know that was an issue early. The results at home weren't what you wanted, but they've been pretty good here lately. I mean, do you feel like there's some oomph to playing at home now?
A little bit. I think there's a little bit more confidence now. But our last game versus New Jersey wasn't very good, and I think there was a reason for that. But we got to be ready tonight. And this team is 8-4. I'm not sure. I think the 8-4-1. I think on the road, or maybe 8-4-3, something like that. So they got a good road record. And again, this team plays hard, whether they're at home or whether they're on the road, and they don't deviate too far from what they want to accomplish. So I told the guys this is going to be I think a man's game tonight, and you got to be prepared to play a man's game.
Back down to Springfield. You don't have an extra forward. Is Gabbert maybe on the verge?
Well, players are getting close, yes. Don't know exactly when. I'm not going to say Monday, but guys are starting to get close.
With the puck handling that McKenna showed in the two periods against New York Rangers on Thursday, is that something that helps the team with breakouts moving forward, or is it something that they have to get used to at this point?
It helps as long as he doesn't try to blaze up the middle of the ice. It does. Him getting back for pucks and getting turned up ice. It's you watch some of the other goaltenders around the league that can handle the puck, and at times it turns into another defenseman back there where the D don't have to necessarily go to the net for the puck. They can go to the corners, and it makes the opposition, makes it more difficult to forecheck. Well, hopefully it's a little bit easier to break out, but you still have to execute and do certain things. You can't just come back lazily. And we still have to come back hard and support a goalie if he's going to come out and play the puck. He also has the ability to, like Steve Mason did when he was here, was coming out and getting it, and he can get it up high enough and hard enough on the glass to get it past the first two players of the opposition. So it could turn into chances going the other way. But we still have to be disciplined, and you still have to respect certain things. You can't just assume that the goalie comes out and he's going to make a play.
Todd, your kill's been perfect this month. I know you weren't displeased with it earlier.
You had to say that, did you?
Yeah. You weren't displeased with it earlier, but are those numbers just an indication of maybe what it was before, and that you just weren't seeing it a little bit?
There are times, specialty teams, your power play is going well, but you aren't scoring. There's times when your penalty kill's going well and you're giving up 1 goal or 2 goals, maybe a bad bounce. Maybe the team executes. Maybe the other team makes hockey plays and ends up in your net. Those things happen. We've come out of games thinking that our penalty kill's done a decent job, and as of late, it's been pretty good. Our power play is the same. You know, we had one opportunity in New York, but we generated about 3 chances off that power play. So when the game's over with, that's when you got to go back as a coach and you got to look, and not necessarily the numbers, but you got to go back and you got to look and see what's on the video.